Shalom, brothers and sisters. So, interesting article, and there have been a couple of these over the last few years, and they come on my radar because I look at stuff like this. They've been searching for the mythical city of Atlantis for a very, very long time. People have been trying to figure out, is it just a story to teach a lesson, or is it an actual place that did exist at one time? And so people have actually searched, and from time to time you find someone who comes, an expert, unknown drip under pressure, or a scientist or archaeologist, and they say, look, we think this is Atlantis. One of them I'll never forget is they found it in Africa in the desert, and they found the concentric rings and everything, and they said, look, here is Atlantis, which made no sense to me, because if you read it properly, Atlantis was in the ocean. It was an island. But anyway, so there have been various attempts to say we found it. And now, in 2025, here we go again. Archaeologist says Atlantis ruins found near Cadiz, and a giant tsunami likely caused its destruction. Now, put a pin in that, because I'm going to come back to that. Michael Donnellan presented scans showing circular structures submerged on the ocean floor, aligning with Plato's descriptions. The archaeologist announced his discovery and believes it is the legendary lost city of Atlantis. Donnellan asserted he found the submerged structures off the coast of Cadiz, Spain, and corresponds closely with the descriptions given by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. Over the past 8 years, Donnellan's team conducted extensive research along the coastline near Cadiz, exploring with sonar and LiDAR technology. The research uncovered long intersecting linear structures forming enormous concentric circular walls standing 6 meters high. We discovered long linear structures on the seabed, said Donnellan. He explained the outer wall appeared to have suffered major destruction, potentially due to a massive tsunami, while the inner walls were displaced and split in 2 parts. The inner, second, and third walls were completely displaced and split in 2. At the center of the concentric rings, the team identified a rectangular ruin that Donnellan believes corresponds to the Temple of Poseidon, described by Plato. The layout matches perfectly with Plato's descriptions. Donnellan believes that these findings support the existence of Atlantis as portrayed by Plato, proposing that this civilization sank into the ocean 11,600 years ago due to a great catastrophe. Next pin. Possibly with the Younger Dryas climatic event, which is their climate change story from way back then. Plato puts it very well. He says that this happened in a night of earthquakes and floods. Put another pin in that one. He mentioned the dimensions of the Atlantic plain closely correspond to the 3,000 by 2,000 stadia, which is approximately 341 by 227 miles, the size of the state of Nevada in the United States. So, a couple of things there, just quickly, and we'll come back to it. It was submerged by a tsunami, right? And it was in a night with earthquakes and floods. The fountains of the deep split open and burst up, and the ocean was in turmoil and everything was chaotic. Sounds like the flood event to me. Exactly that. So very, very interesting. Now, Plato's Atlantis, legendary island mentioned in the dialogues Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 BCE, and in the works he describes Atlantis as a powerful and advanced civilization that eventually fell out of favor with the gods, small g, due to its moral decline, leading to its destruction and submersion into the ocean. The story serves as a parable contrasting the virtues of Athens with the hubris of Atlantis, illustrating themes of morality and the consequences of corruption. The myth has sparked numerous interpretations and theories about the historical basis and its significance throughout the centuries. Until now, seemingly they have discovered it in 2025, even down to the measurements reported. Now, in the island of Atlantis, there existed, this is from Plato, there existed a confederation of kings, of great and marvelous power, which held sway over all the island and over many other islands and also part of the continent. Great and powerful kings, a time of men of renown and giants. Now let's propose for you for a second, park there 11,600 years and all that, and however that happened. But let's propose that Atlantis existed. Maybe not in the time frame they say at the same time as the Greeks and Athens and everything, but even further back. And let's assert that we jump to Genesis chapter 6. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men and that they were fair. And they took them wives of all whom they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also of flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that. When the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown, heroes, kings. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. The time of giants and legends. Now I propose, what if that time of gods and heroes and these giants and legends, Poseidon, small g god of the sea, and all these evil fallen angels and things were doing their thing and trying to corrupt the bloodline and corrupt the earth, that God came and brought down judgment by the flood. The fountains of the deep opened up and burst forth. Tsunamis raged across the world, destroying and sinking places like Atlantis, seats of power for these false gods and their children, their Nephilim. And now we see the connection with their legends and their sunken, fallen city. And interesting that we should find, because this really does look down to measurements like it could be Atlantis, that we should find it and be revealed of it in 2025. As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the time of the end. And here we are in the time of the end. Now, God's not going to destroy the world with water and a flood, but with fire this time. And we see that heat building, and we see that judgment coming all the time. Interesting times. Interesting. They did look through the ruins. They didn't find golden arches or any Plato coffee shops, but they're still investigating. God bless. Have a great day. Shalom.